am Jackie Spurlock. I'm the branch manager here of Vancouver Community Library, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to welcome you here tonight and to be a part of Vancouver and Clark County's vibrant art community. We, in connection with our projects having to do with the art community, I'd like to be sure that you know that we participate in the First Friday Art Walks beginning in May. We usually do that through the summer and into the early fall. So our first one will be on May 2nd and 3rd. So we have an art show in this room with a variety of local artists every month on Saturday and Sunday of the weekends that First Friday Art Walk takes place. So again, welcome. We're just thrilled to have this event here tonight at the Vancouver Library. And now I'd like to introduce Deanie Grigor, the Director and Associate Professor of Digital Technology and Culture Program at Washington State University, Vancouver.
Thank you, Jackie. This event is part of a large series called Enriching Lives with Poetry. It was a grant that many of us wrote. There were 6 partners in this grant, and it funds many different events, including tonight. It's paying for the music and all kinds of other things that are associated with this evening. And so it's my pleasure to mention the sponsors of this event. This grant came from Humanities Washington. It's the first grant we've received from that organization ever. And we're very excited about it. In fact, they're doing a lot of publicity for us, and they'll be coming down for some events at the end of April to join us. Also involved in this grant is the Arts of Clark County. It's an organization that I was involved in for many years and helped to find, and I found, and I really was excited that we have such a broad view of art in that organization. We have the Clark County Arts Commission, the library here, this whole system, as well as the Camas Library. So and WSUV, of course, Washington State, where I teach. So we had so many partners involved in this. And so it's great to see a community come together for the purpose of celebrating poetry. Some of the things coming up I just want to mention, we have in April on the 23rd, a public reading tonight on that night. And then the next day we have an art show of poetry that's electronic. And that show is being mounted by students at the Washington State University, Vancouver. We also have an upcoming writing workshop that Christopher is leading at Washington State on Friday, April 11th from 12 to 2. And then there's a wonderful open mic event on Thursday night, the 24th, and that's from 6 to 7 o'clock. So those are some things coming up, and Christopher's going to be talking about some of the other events associated with this. I'd like to turn this over for a moment and let the Arts of Clark County, this is Maureen Andrade, who's going to be talking a little bit about the Arts of Clark County's mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Deanie. That was wonderful. And wow, that's really exciting. I didn't realize it had so many partners. And Humanities Grant, that's like the grail. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. It is. The Arts of Clark County and the Arts Commission extend their gratitude to Christopher Luna. Thank you so much for being Clark County's first poet laureate and doing a wonderful job. So we're so happy with that role. He's done an incredible job not only within the literary arts community, but also community building. His events are widely attended and respected across all mediums, and he's a wonderful cultural ambassador for Clark County, period. One other thing that I wanted to mention is the Arts of Clark County was really I'm sorry, lost my train of thought there. They were very concerned that somebody show up tonight to express just what our confidence in Christopher and our excitement about what he's going to do next. We can't wait to see what other things you're going to be doing within our community, and also to encourage you to continue to partner with us and with other arts organizations. Arts of Clark County has a holistic vision about promoting all arts within Clark County, and also educating the public about all the wonderful resources we have available right here. So I'd like to thank you again. Pat LaCroix is here from the Commission. Thank you, Pat. So, anyway, thank you again, Christopher.
This is the second annual Poet Laureate Spring Address. We had our first one last year after Christopher was elected, brought in, chosen, selected by the county to be the Poet Laureate. And just in case you don't know what a Poet Laureate's job is, His job, or her job, is to promote poetry in the region and to show that poetry is part of the human spirit, to involve it in our lives on a daily basis. He's done everything from give the poetry readings at Tim Levitt's, I think, coronation, inauguration, he was made mayor. He gives poetry readings around town. So he's very involved in promoting poetry. So that's his job, essentially. And I've known Christopher for about 6 years now. He was the perfect choice for this first poet laureate. He is everything from a poet to an artist, from a painter to a musician. So he does a lot of different art forms, but tonight you're going to be hearing him read, and we're the head of the poet. So welcome, Christopher. Thank you.
Thanks. I will be reading some of my poetry, and you're going to hear some more from River Twain, really one of my favorite bands. I've been working with musicians for quite a long time, and so one of the things that I decided to do when I got the laureate position was to see if I could use it to get the attention of the musicians that I know. And so I started a series at Niche Wine and Art Bar and Annex Gallery that will continue. There'll be more of those readings. I think the next one is April 26th with Julio Appling. So it's my favorite thing to do, really, is to read with musicians. So I'm really glad that River Twain is here tonight. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about poets in the schools. When I became the Poet Laureate, that was my main goal, was to see if I could. I had this dream. I was a little bit jealous of Portland's Writers in the Schools program, and I thought we could do something like that over here. So I thought that I would use the position to get a little bit of energy and interest around it. And it's been slow going so far, but we have had some really great visits with schools, and so the idea behind it is not for me to visit the schools necessarily, although I have been and will continue to do that, but for me to be in the role of kind of recruiting a team of people. So among the many things that are on my table back there is a list for poets and educators who think that they would like to get involved with the Poets in the Schools program. And I knew that in 2 years, what you could probably do is just get something going, and that's what we tried to do, is just get something started. Then the Humanities Washington grant happened, so of course the grant is going to help us to pay the teachers who are going into the schools. The grant basically was from January this year to June, so it's going to help me and some of the other poets to do that. So far, the poets that are involved are myself, my partner Tony Partington, who is at the table back there with our books, and Robin Moore, who is someone that I originally met here as part of the Vancouver Library Community of Poets, and Dr. Candy Robertson from WSUV. My experience has been mostly with teenagers and adults, but we're open to working with students at all levels. And for example, Dr. Robertson and I recently visited Image Elementary School and had a fantastic time with the students there. We were able to visit them twice, and she already has a relationship with them, with the school, already volunteers there, and it was really wonderful. So I thought I would tell you about where we've sort of been and who we're talking to, just to give you an idea, but of course we want this to expand. Columbia River High School, Vancouver School of Arts and Academics, Discovery Middle School, Image Elementary, which I mentioned. I have to think about, I might be blanking on a few. Ridgefield High School? Is it the high school or the middle school? Ridgefield High School. And of course, one of the things that I learned is that mass emails are not a really great way to start a Poets in the Schools program. So I decided I'm taking the telethon approach now, and it turns out that it takes a long time to call all of the schools in Clark County. But I've been trying slowly to do that. And the other thing that I learned was to go directly to the English or language arts teachers. So that's what I do now, is I ask for them, or I go directly to them. But anyway, what I want is for this to grow. I know that we have talented poets in the community. We also have poets in the community who already have education experience. So if that describes you and you want to be involved in it, it's as simple as letting me know, and then we'll talk about sort of how to match you up. And the basic idea is to find out what the class needs, what the school needs. Wherever possible, we're going to try to keep in mind the curriculum that's already in place there and try to adapt to that. And and then come in and do something special for the kids and really help to instill a love of poetry. One of the reasons that I teach poetry is because teachers are sort of inundated, and they have so many things they need to get to. Not all of the teachers who are put in the position to teach poetry in the classroom know anything in particular about it. So they do the best that they can, they do a great job, but having someone whose passion is poetry to come in as a guest is a fun thing for the kids, but it's also a way to really instill that love of writing and love of poetry in the student. So I have a passion for that, and I'm hoping that we can use both the poet laureate position and the help of the grant and the people like Deanie Regar who are willing to really put some time and energy into this to grow a really great program here. So yeah, please let us know if you want to be part of that. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to mention. The reason that I'm the poet laureate is because in 2004 I started an open mic poetry reading, and at the time there really weren't very many of those going on. So we were popular pretty much from the beginning, and now this year we're celebrating our 10th year. And Tony Partington, who is part of that community, is also my partner, is a partner in Printed Matter Vancouver, which is a publishing company and editing service. So this is the second anthology of poems from the series. So we have children, because the series is all ages and uncensored. We've got nationally recognized poets, and we've got regional poets in both volumes of the book. But this just came out about 2 months ago, and so we do have copies of that there. And if you want to know more about it, let us know. I'll also be reading from a new chapbook that I put together last year on National Poetry Month. April is National Poetry Month, if you didn't know that. The Found Poetry Review put a call out to poets to ask them whether they would like to take one of the Pulitzer Prize winning novels, and I think there were 85 on the list from the beginning of the contest, to each take one of the Pulitzer Prize winning novels and create a poem a day for every day in April out of that novel. This is a little bit embarrassing, but there was only one novel that I had definitely read and was fresh in my mind, and that was Norman Mailer's The Executioner's Song. It's a very dark book, it's a very violent book. I'm going to read a little bit from it tonight, but I was very careful to take the sort of very brief, sort of family-friendly portions of the book to share with you. But just to let people know, on the spectrum of family-friendly, this is a little bit friendlier, but it's from an all ages and uncensored reading. This is definitely, I would describe the new chapbook, which is called Brutal Glints of Moonlight, as the opposite of a children's book. So I just thought I'd make that as clear as possible. So the first couple of pieces are going to be from that book. And I do collage poetry and work with found material a lot, so this was right up my alley. And I'm going to say the dates when I read these. April 5, some alone time behind the groovy old apple tree. A beautiful heart carved around the names of the apple tree. Groovy old apple tree doesn't get any attention and doesn't care. Acted as if he looked really cool all the time. He liked the sound of saying it. Straight hard work made her mad, sunk her right into the swamp of misery. It was 2 a.m. It wasn't bad, the feeling of something beautiful next to you. In love from time to time, it went on all night, soothed everything. They got to speaking of karma. That was his idea. Wanted to do it right, so she wouldn't have to make another trip. So if you do happen to pick up the chapbook, there's an explanation of how I did that in there, and it's a little complicated, so I'm not going to explain it, but I think it's interesting, so if that kind of thing interests you, check it out. April 26th, connubial visits were happiness itself. An awesome afternoon at Walgreens, where you get the things. Altered perception of reality. Can see that possibility. Calm, solemn, completely surrounded by beautiful, soft faces. Good conversation. Helpful insights. Feel beautiful, not fake. Not taking orders from your folks anymore. I have feelings and beliefs. It is a matter of some delicacy. One huge, well-organized conspiracy. You talk about dying, but it's just words, baby. Appreciate and understand. Want to get loose, lit up, wasted in a nice, quiet way. I'm burning to get on. Get it on. Reopen it. Just go ahead on with it like the demon that got into Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Physical contact, kind of exciting. Take the chance. You can do something where it is intentional. Certainly changed me. I'm going to interrupt this poem and invite Brittany Schramm to come up here. I was so nervous about everything that I forgot to ask her. Brittany Schramm is a member of our community here, the Ghost Town Poetry Community, and she's comes to the readings and does ASL interpretation of the poems. So I would like to ask her to begin now, even though I got rolling without you. Thank you, and let's give her a hand, Brittany Schramm. And I haven't talked to Brittany at all about how tough it is to, do this for 6 pages of poetry, but I'll probably ask her after. Okay, so to go back, we're going back to the couple, the fun couple, that is the 2 main characters in the book. She watched Crazy Pony constantly, flabbergasted by all the adrenaline he generated. Continued intoxication, got that mane of hair bobbing. Fiancé was alert, right there laughing with him. Pregnant, pretty, wanted to live. Lay me down on the floor, make some contribution. Best chance today. Wiped out his heart like an electric shock. So I'm going to read some Ghost Town stuff now, beginning with a piece that's in the chapbook, and then going into a Ghost Town suite. And I'm going to be joined by my friends in River Twain, who are Brad Major and Gus Reeves. Let's say hello to them one more time. Is this ready? I believe so. Try it. Testing. How are we doing? Hopefully this will work for the CBTV folks. Okay, so the poem from the chapbook that I'm going to begin with is called A Very Special Ghost Town Exclusive with Geraldo Rivera. As I sat in a hotel room up in Vancouver, Washington, talking to Geraldo Rivera, Johnny Cash called. On that special sunrise, don't fear the reaper. Very gentle peacefulness here. You can feel powerful bodies hovering around you. God's love has been put into grass. Grass went right into his heart. Passed it out like infections. See him periodically, outside every understanding. He is so much stronger than I am. Always reassures me. Always makes me feel better. I love him. Never hid truth from me. I don't like evil. I don't desire to be evil no more. We are all part of a wondrous, good, understanding God. May this bring us closer in loving and understanding one another. Always celebrate. Personally thank him. You are a fortunate person to have lived as long as you have. Can't guarantee anything. Look at me. Sheep. I'm going to put it on you. Be on guard against every evil vibration that comes along. Belief and courage is all you have to fight on. Lloyd entered the room. An apparition attached itself to me. Flipped the light on, pretty shook up. I left my body. I sobered right up. There was something in me now. All the love in the world. It was as if some foul and abominable demon just walked out of my mouth. Then the flood. I wrote beautiful poetry. When I told her about the conversation, she got in her car and was gone for 5 years. Okay. Yeah. So the next piece is a suite of snapshots of Vancouver, Washington, contained in Ghost Town, USA. The dirt beneath Bonita's fingernails did not discourage him. She was reading a bilingual edition of Dante's Inferno on the 37th, and that was more than enough. To hide. Thousands of bumblebees hide in the lavender bushes lining the street that leads to Hudson's Bay High School, where not long ago teens swarmed in the parking lot next to the church, smoking cigarettes, imitating gangsters, and sharing laser prints of nude Ukrainian girls. Youth, that greeny yellow moment between ancient wisdom and discovery of the self. Be strong, confused one. Your fumblings contain the potential to unearth truths your parents could not have foreseen. Plane downtown, 11/21/2008. America is on the bus. Where is the bailout for the people on the bus? absolve them of their debts. Upper middle class women and their mothers take Hummers to Safeway to pick up poinsettias and birthday cakes. You never know when you might encounter an Iraqi insurgent hiding in the dairy aisle, or a tweaker with a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. February 10th, 2005. Student in front of Vancouver Community Library. I'm not a liar. I'm a fibber. I tell little white lies. I can do that. I'm white. December 2008, waiting for the number 37, Mill Plain Boulevard. Overjoyed at the sight of a beautiful black sister in bell-bottoms embroidered with flowers, cornrows hanging out from beneath red, gold, black, and green tam, getting down under the bus shelter at Broadway in Mill Plain. Her girlfriend gets off the bus. Short, butch haircut, looking surly, but it's a put-on. The goddess dances up close, nuzzling, their lips barely touching, aware yet unbothered that I'm watching the whole thing. Such a bold and cheerful expression of love makes my day, fills me up, excites me, gives me hope. June 1, 2011. At the peak of the hill upon which St. John's and St. James run parallel, Tony, Angelo, and I see a tall man in a mullet wig and bright yellow safety vest, flossing his teeth as he lumbers, zombie-like, toward the gas station.